What's up, guys? So I was in my Discord the other night talking to one of my friends, and we were kind of just going back and forth about Path of Building and kind of, some of the ways to use it and some of the things that aren't very intuitive. And I thought, you know what, this would be a pretty good YouTube video because there's a lot of things in Path of Building. It's a fantastic tool, but there's a lot of things that aren't really explained very well, especially when it comes to minion builds or cast on crit builds. So this is a video that I recorded. We were just kind of talking, and then I was like, you know what, let's start recording this. So I'm not gonna to play the whole video, but there's a lot of really good information. We go over how to set up the configuration, how to accurately get your animate guardian buffs to set up, and all that sort of thing. So yeah, there's a lot of good information. So hopefully you guys find use of this. But yeah, let's jump into it. Cool. All right, so we were going through POB. So basically, the way that we add, so we talked about adding the skill tree, right? So this tree, we go to the tree, we go down to manage, and then if we want to add leveling trees there, we just go new, and that's how we add it. And then we do we name it whatever we want to name it, and then we can set the skill tree leveling progression that way. As far as items go, we can do the same thing. As for item sets, we can do low budget, medium budget, all of that sort of thing. And then what was the other stuff we covered before we started going into the configuration? Was it the cal?
I think that was about it. And then I think we went to configuration after the item sets.
Item sets.
Notes. We did cover notes a little bit, where you can just put in here like animate guardian, what gears on your animate guardian. If you're on a 5-link, what should you prioritize? If you're on a 4-link, what should you prioritize?
All that sort of
stuff
stuff.
to be looking out for when you're leveling, like health, energy shield.
Yeah, so just what just general notes that are like leveling and what you should be looking for on the actual stuff.
Yeah,
okay.
notes are kind of like your just kind of like baseline information, and then the only real time you need to have extensive notes in here is if there's a interaction with a set of gear that doesn't like explain itself at face value. Like if you think that if somebody looks at this and goes, I won't understand how you're doing this or how this is working right off just by looking at it, then you go into notes and you explain it and break it down into detail.
Got it.
Like a thing that like a common thing that I'll see for a lot of like in-game cast on crit builds is like in the note sections you'll see exactly where they're getting all their power charges and stuff, because sometimes you open up their POB and it's like, I have 10 power charges. It's like, well, how the heck do you have 10 power charges? And it's like, okay, well, it's not like easy. You can go through the gear and like try to piece it all together, or I can just write it in the notes and you can.
Got it. So that would be a situation of when we would want to so for example, we would want to explain the setup for the animate guardian, for the guardian's blessing. Like we'd want to explain the K, like don't do this until you have Grunthal, something like that.
Yes. And then even if you do have it, don't level it past like like level 5 or something.
Yeah, until you have
all of your clusters with a bunch of regen on them, because he's probably gonna die to something.
For sure. Okay, no, that makes sense. And then we were talking about the custom modifiers. So custom modifiers. So basically, anything when it comes to how to add in like things from specters and things like that, the actual in-game thing doesn't work, so you actually have to manually.
It technically does. It's just finicky. Sometimes it works correctly, sometimes it doesn't. Also, some specters aren't even in the specter list. So if you go to if you go to calcs instead of configuration, you can where it says socket group at the top, you can go down until you find specters. So you find your specter gem, and you can click manage specters, and you can add in the specters, and then once you add in the actual specter, theoretically when you click in configuration, when you click enable buffs and enable curses from specters, it should work. The problem
but it doesn't always work.
Sometimes it's finicky. It may not get the correct percentage, it may not do it correctly, and I would rather just type it all out in the custom modifiers, so that way it's just like guaranteed to be, that's just what the number is.
Got it.
There's personal preference. Not to mention, like the stuff like the spectral leader and the war caller are not in the specter list for some reason. I think they just haven't updated it because it's not really that big of a deal. Like not a lot of people use minion builds, let alone support specters.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not in there, so you still have to go to the custom modifiers to type in the stuff for the specters that don't exist in the specter list yet. So you might like, in my opinion, if you're gonna do that anyways, just type everything out.
Just type everything out.
The exact same way.
For sure, for sure. So we were going through the animate guardian buff. So we have we have 68% increased damage. That's for the leader cast, and that's for the dying breath. And then we have 18%. Go ahead.
You will have to change the custom modifier tagline. I don't think custom modifiers change with item sets. But in the high-end version, you will be changing out the Dying's Breath for, dear God, what's it called? Crap, I can't remember what it's called. Soul.
Yeah. Soul. Is it Soul? No. I know exactly because I used it last league. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, Soul is one of the ones that like it goes into. So I'm trying to.
No, it's not Soul Eater.
No. You want to make the weapon, you have to use Soul Taker and an Orb of Fusing and a Heartbreaker.
The one I was
Kingmaker.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. But
so if you want to make the item, you can actually make the item. It just takes a Heartbreaker, a Soul Taker, and an Orb of Fusing, and that makes a Kingmaker, the weapon.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So then, but with Kingmaker, don't you want to be running? I think isn't there like another? Don't you need to be using a different different boots or something too, or there was something you needed to change with Kingmaker that was...
I don't believe so. You can run other chests for, like, instance, I think the Ephemeral Guard is like really good for late game because it makes you and all your minions unable to be crit, which is like huge. But it's a humongous defensive layer. But the problem is that you're currently running a Guardian's Blessing setup, so you are kind of almost locked into running a Grut Fools. Potentially, you could drop the Grut Fools as long as you keep the Guardian's Blessing at
a low level.
I'd probably like level 1, you know, because the higher the level, the more damage it does, but the higher effect, like the buff effect it gives. So that being said, though, if you keep it at level 1, it's not like it's getting less buff effect than if you had casted it without it. It'll always be more buff effect. You're just giving up more buff effect for the minion not taking as much damage.
Got it. And so as far as the I guess I don't understand the increased effect of curses, because for this build we're not using any curses, right?
Like, yeah, you are. You're using Assassin's Mark, which counts as a curse.
You know what? You're right. Yeah, I didn't realize. Okay, Assassin's Mark. I didn't realize Assassin's Mark counts as a curse. Okay, no.
Yeah, all marks count as a curse. But you can only have one on a target at a time. But you can have multiple curses on a target.
Got it. Okay. So yeah, so that would affect the mark damage. Okay.
And then you're also running a pair of gloves that on your Animate Guardian that curse enemies on hit with vulnerability. Which would give you level 1 vulnerability on the enemy. So that'll stack with the Assassin's Mark curse that you have, because you're going to run Windscreen Boots on your Animate Guardian, which ups your curse limit by 1. So you'll have you can have 2 curses out on a target at a time. And you'll be able to use the vulnerability on hit on the Guardian as well as the Assassin's Mark.
I'm trying to think of what gloves I'm using.
The increased effect of your curses is a debuff that's put on the enemies, so that will also buff the vulnerability on hit from the gloves on the Animate Guardian.
I don't think I'm using
most people just use
I'm using Southbound. That's what I'm using. Yeah,
most people use Southbound. I think Southbound has % increased max life, right?
It gives increased max life, and then it gives freeze duration, and your hits can only kill freezing enemies or frozen enemies.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure almost everybody uses Southbound on Animate Guardians, specifically for the reason that I think it's one of, if not the only glove in the entire game that gives % increased max life, and then obviously Animate Guardians have a crap load of life, so they don't need flat life, they need % increased life because their baseline HP pool is humongous.
Yeah.
So you pretty much always use Southbound gloves because it's the only glove in the game that has % increased max life.
Got it. So then, what would it be better to use? So we want unnerve on hit, right? You
want Intimidate on hit because you're physical damage.
Physical damage.
Small damage.
Got it. Got it. So then, that now would be something we would just craft. Like we would just craft on a pair of gloves, a rare gloves, and then and
No,
just
no, you don't need it. I believe that like when you're looking for min maxing that damage, I believe you get that off of like awaken melee damage.
what, like the gem?
Yeah, let me double check. I think it's awaken melee fizz. Yeah, awaken melee fizz at level 5 gives supported skills of a 10% chance to intimidate enemies on hit for 4 seconds. And you're already using melee fizz in your links, so when you get the money to buy awaken melee fizz, that's where you're getting your source of intimidate on hit.
Got it. And so and that would count as a curse. And so wait, so
No,
but
no. Intimidate and unnerve do not count as curses.
they don't. Okay.
No.
Okay. So then what's our second curse then? Our first curse is the is the assassin mark. What's the second curse?
The vulnerability on hit on the anime guardian's glove. So you want a pair of southbound gloves with the corrupted implicit mark enemy on hit, or sorry, it's like curse enemy on hit with vulnerability.
Got it. And so I don't have those gloves. I just have just a regular pair of southbound gloves right now. So that's probably
Yeah, you
that.
could buy. They're. I think like if you're looking for like this, like they're relatively cheap.
Yeah, I don't think they're very expensive. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's something that I need to and it's vulnerability on hit. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and that was the part I never understood about why we wanted two curses, but I wasn't factoring. I for some reason I wasn't, to me, like Assassin's Mark doesn't compute in my head as a fucking curse, but I mean it is. I just for whatever reason when I think about curses, I think of like vulnerability, flammability, like things like that. I don't think Assassin's Mark or any marks.
Yeah, so I looked at not POV. I looked at the trade website for those gloves. You're looking at anywhere from 10 to 20 C, and then like if the first 30 people don't respond to you, then I guess it's like 30 C. But I'd say average 15 to 20 C
Okay,
for
that's not bad.
southbounds with vulnerability on hit.
That's not bad. Okay, so as far as our animate guardian effects, so right now, so we've got nearby allies, deal 68% damage, 18% increased effect of our curses. Right now I'm running Legacy of Fury boots, I think.
No, you should run when scream. Yeah, when scream.
I don't think I'm running Windscream. Let me see.
Yeah, you want to run scream. Well, to be fair, you don't need to run wind scream if you're not running the curse on hit gloves because wind scream buffs your curse limit from 1 to 2.
Got it. Yeah. So right now, Legacy of Fury, Legacy of Fury is not really doing anything for me either because it's giving armor and evasion to my animate guardian, but like I'm not doing Scorch, so or I'm doing all physical damage, so the Scorch doesn't really do anything, right?
Yeah, Scorch doesn't do anything.
Okay. So then I probably so then I guess the first upgrade I want to do is I'd want to I guess the first pretty decent upgrade, which is not going to cost a crazy amount of money, is going to be to switch over to Windscream and then get the curse on hit gloves.
That's like 30 C. So like wind scream should probably be like 10 to 15 C, maybe 20, and then the curse on hit gloves is anywhere from 10 to 20 C. So you're looking at like 40 C total.
Okay. So that's not bad, and that should add a pretty good amount of increased damage. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So like the way you simulate that, you can't really add a gem tag, I don't think, in the custom modifiers. So a really easy way to sim it would be you come over here, you create. So I'll just delete this. You just create a new tagline here,
Uh-huh.
and then you put vulnerability, and then put it to gem level 1, and then you just put the label here. Put it like anime guardian gloves.
Got it. And so that would so let's see what that
So like that's how you're getting your level 1 vulnerability. This isn't like, and then you label it. It's not socketed anything, and then it's labeled anime guardian gloves.
Got it. Okay, so we want vulnerability. Okay, and we need to set this to level 1. Okay, and then we want to include it in the full DPS. It didn't change the DPS. Why did it not change the DPS? Oh, do I need it to change the label maybe? Enemy Guardian. I don't think that should change anything. Yeah, no, it didn't change the DPS. Wonder why. Did it do it for you? Scroll down and see if it's changing. See if it's changing.
No,
Your...
it didn't. What you have to do is you can either type in.
Right. I'm gonna play a few ARMs with Shark. She's been waiting for me, so then I'll be in with you guys.
Okay. So what I did in my POB is I just allocated Whispers of Doom because it's not gonna act as if you have Windscream to up your curse limit. But what you can do instead is do you can write a custom modifier. I think you just do a custom modifier of like what Whispers of Doom does, which is you can apply an additional curse.
You can
there you go.
apply an additional curse. All right, let's see. Oh, there we go. Yep, that changed it. Okay, cool. Oh wow, dude, that added like fuck. That added like almost 500,000 DPS. Just
Yeah,
that.
so I mean, if you
just that
look
change.
at the curse, the curse literally says curse enemies take 15% physical damage. That's a multiplier. So
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. So that's all the animate guardian effects, because that was the biggest thing that I never really knew how to simulate correctly in POB, and just all the specter buffs. So basically, like the way that the POBs is set up is it doesn't really do it. Like if you try to use the in-game like the UI for it, you actually have to just go in and customly add all of those things.
like you can use it and it works for some things, just not all things. So like at that point, I just use the custom modifier. It's easier, it's quicker, and you can write custom things in there to let people know why things are working the way they're working.
Got it. Okay.
It works the exact same way.
Do you need to change the number of summoned minions as well on the configuration tab to correctly
Yeah, so okay, if we're done with the custom modifiers, also too, before we finish with the custom modifier tagline, you probably want to, so like your custom modifiers here where it says nearby allies take 68% increased damage, blah, 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 all that stuff for the Animate Guardian. What you want to do is you want to create a second one, and then put all the information for, if he, as if your Animate Guardian had the, whatchamacallit, good lord, I can't remember. As if it had the Kingmaker. So you want to put the Kingmaker stats in here, but you want to like mess with the modifier a little bit. So for instance, if are you looking at my stream?
Yeah, I'm watching. I've been watching the whole time.
I'd write like Animate Guardian, Animate Guardian, Kingmaker, and then type in the stats for Kingmaker, which let me see, Kingmaker.
Pull it up too. I have it here. So it's 300 to 360% increased physical damage, 7 to 12% increased attack speed, 30 to 40%.
That's all stuff that's
on you.
To the nature of the weapon. You want the ones that isn't natural to the weapon.
So you mean like you're talking about the nearby allies have calling strike.
So the nearby ally tag. So it's pretty much all you want from Kingmaker.
Nearby allies have 50%. Oh no, the critical strike modifier is actually pretty important too. Because we're crit capping, which actually that brings up another thing. We'll talk about that in a second. But okay, so Kingmaker. So then we got so nearby allies have calling strike. So nearby.
So there, you see this where it says nearby allies have item rarity, calling strike, and then if I look at the tagline, all of this looks correct, right?
Yeah.
What you would do because like this is going to be applied as if you already have it, right? So you don't actually have this. What you would do is you would just like mess up like this. Like if I just move the R, now all of a sudden it's not applying. And if I move like the last letter, if I move this, now none of that applies. And then you can type in your notes when you have the Animate Guardian with Kingmaker, you would just delete this or do the same thing over here where you would just move the line of text over one, and then you would just move these letters back. If you move these letters back, now all of a sudden they're applying, right? So if they're blue, they're applying. If they're red, they're not. So we have the line of text in here. None of this is actually applying to the character right now, but it's here. So whenever they do upgrade to this, they can change it over. Because I don't believe you get extra custom modifiers that change depending on like what item set you have. So like this would be a high budget version. Like if I had, this would be like with your high budget gear. If you're already on the high budget gear version of the Necromancer in general, so like all of your gear on your character itself is high budget, and you have the extra like couple divs to put on your Anime Guardian.
Yeah.
Then you would put the setup on there.
Got it. Okay. Okay, no, that's super. So wait, so nearby allies have calling strike. Nearby allies have 50% increased critical strike modifier. Nearby allies have, oops, have fortification. Wait, how do you spell
10 fortification is huge, by the way. So like a lot of people think like when you get to Kingmaker, you're just getting like all the damage from Kingmaker, and you're worried your guys are gonna die. But 10 fortification is huge. 10 fortification is literally 10% less damage taken.
Yeah, which
And
is
that's
pretty.
that's
pretty
an
big.
AoE buff for you and all of your minions, including your Anime Guardian. So, which
Why-
also applies to the Guardian Blessing too.
That's
So
what I was
10%
thinking.
less damage
So
taken from the Guardian Blessing.
got it. Okay, so it does apply to Guardian's Blessing.
Yeah, actually, if you have Meat Shield on your Anime Guardian, that applies to Guardian's Blessing as well. Because it says minions from supported skills take 24% less damage. It's just generic less damage, which means it applies to everything. In Guardian's Blessing, if you read the line of text, it says minions from supported skills take 13% of their total max life and energy shield as physical damage. So, like, you're taking it as damage. It's not just like some sort of weird tagline restriction. Your minions taking damage. So if you tag it with Meat Shield and your minion now takes 24% less damage, that 24% less damage is actually applying to that 13% overall. So it's not actually dealing 13%. It's dropping
dealing-
down to like 9 or something.
Okay, okay. Can you go back to the fortification tag? Because what's the exact tag? I thought I was spelling fortification. Okay, so it's plus. It's plus 10 fortification.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Okay, now it's computing correctly. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay. Oh yeah. So that's another thing too. So where do you check to see your minions' critical strike chance and your minions' hit chance?
So pretty annoying that it's over here, but it is. You go to calcs. In my opinion, this should be listed right here with the minions attacks, but it's not for some reason. You would go over here, look for your minion that you want to check. So for us, it would be our carrying golem. And then it should be, so like this is like your attack speed and stuff. It should be somewhere over here. Oh, right here. Sorry, you have to click this. Show minion stats. And then crits right here.
Okay, their crit chance. Okay, so right now, okay, yes, I'm at 30. Yes, I'm at 35% in pale. Where does it show? Oh, so accuracies. I'm actually not.
So just another thing that you have to add to the custom modifier tagline. I'm pretty sure Mata's teaching does not actually apply its minions have base crit equal to the critical strike chance of your main hand weapon. I don't think this actually applies in POB. I think you have to actually type it into the custom modifiers. So
Got it. Okay.
So what you would probably do is, if I'm thinking about this correctly, like how you would word this, I think it's like minions. So like mine is 8.76. Minions have 8.76. Wait, is the percent go behind it of them? Chance to critically strike. That's how it works.
Wait, so okay, so what did you do to do that?
Well, we need to go into custom modify. Oh, it didn't work. It's red. So I need to figure out what the actual line of text needs to be.
Oh, this has been super helpful because because I was like trying to figure this shit out and it was just like it wasn't computing it correctly, so I didn't realize you had to actually go in and like type a lot of this stuff. Would it
I don't know what
would it be would it be minions have 8.76% critical strike. That's obviously critical strike chance.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh. Yeah, how do you do that? Oh.
Okay, well, hold on. Let me try this. Minions naturally have a base crit of 5%, so
Yeah, because I didn't even think about that. Yeah, because the crit chance definitely got to be higher than 35% because we've got that whole crit strike wheel. Um We've got jewels and things that are giving. What's up, guys? Editing Grom here. So in this section of the video, we were trying to figure out why our minions were not crit capped. We spent a long time trying to figure it out, but when we ended up figuring it out. So we're just gonna skip over this whole section because it's us just talking about thinking there was a bug of POB and all that stuff. So we do end up figuring it out though. Go to your calcs real quick and check your accuracy for the minions. I don't. Oh, see, I mean, you're not hit capped for the minions. I wonder if that, I mean, that should that matter on the crit chance?
it might.
I mean, you could just take the, let's see, you could probably just take the accuracy just to get the crit cap. You could just probably just take the minion mastery. So probably just
Well,
take.
hold on. It's because my precision is level 3. Like, I made my precision level 20. Oh, it is. It's my accuracy is determining my crit chance.
There we go. We figured it out.
That was very smart of you.
Ah, big brain.
Massive brain.
Freaking galaxy brain over here. That's what it is. Well, that's pretty much it, guys. This was kind of just a free form us talking through stuff through POB and figuring things out. So hopefully this was really helpful to you. It was super helpful for me. I learned a lot from this conversation with Barb. This is going to be, we're going to be working on, where we are working on a build guide right now. So the next video that we're going to upload is going to be that build guide. So it's awesome. I'm pretty excited about it. This is gonna be my first build guide, so hopefully you guys enjoy it as well. So, but if you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the little bell to let you know when I upload new content. I'm trying to upload at least one video a week, sometimes two. But yep, we'll see you guys next time. See ya. Have a great day / night.